Right, we told you we'd bring you up to date with the transfer news, and we are going to do just that because Arsenal have signed Spain goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea in a deal worth £5 million. Kepa spent last season on loan, of course, at Bournemouth. Will bring experience, they say, cover for the international teammate David Raya. Arsenal met a release clause in the 30-year-old's deal at Chelsea to secure their first incoming of the summer. Martin Zubimendi and Christian Norgard are expected to follow him through the door, though. Kepa signed a new contract at Chelsea last summer to allow him to go to Bournemouth on loan, and in that deal he agreed to take a pay cut. It also included this low £5 million release clause. He's going to replace Neto as Arsenal's backup option in goal after the Bournemouth shot stopper returned to his parent club following his season-long loan at the Emirates. Chelsea broke the world record transfer fee for the goalkeeper when they signed Kepa from Athletic Club. That was for around £71 million back in 2018. He spent the 2023-24 season on loan at Real Madrid, so he's now off to Arsenal.
Welcome to Theblu Edv, your home for breaking transfer news, in-depth football analysis, and all things Chelsea FC and beyond. If you love football stories, dramatic transfers, and behind-the-scenes insight, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment. Now, let's dive into today's shocker from the transfer window. Kepa Arrizabalaga joins Arsenal in shock £5 million move from Chelsea. In a surprising twist to the summer transfer window, Arsenal have completed the signing of goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga from Chelsea for a fee of just £5 million. That's right, Chelsea's former number one, once the most expensive goalkeeper in football history, has now made a quiet exit from Stamford Bridge for a fraction of what he cost. Back in 2018, Kepa was signed by Chelsea for a record-breaking £71 million from Athletic Bilbao, a move that stunned the football world. At the time, Chelsea were desperate to replace Thibaut Courtois, who had just made a high-profile switch to Real Madrid. The Blues needed someone who could fill the massive void left behind, and they saw potential in a young Kepa, agile, confident, and a brilliant shot stopper. But as we now know, the reality didn't quite match the expectations. Kepa's debut season showed flashes of brilliance, but it wasn't long before inconsistency and high-profile mistakes began to define his Chelsea career. From flapping at crosses to communication issues with defenders, fans began to grow frustrated with his performances. One of the biggest stains on his Chelsea career came in the 2019 Carabao Cup final, where he infamously refused to be substituted by manager Maurizio Sarri. That act of defiance drew criticism from fans and pundits alike and became symbolic of his decline. Despite a few good moments under different managers, Kepa struggled to maintain form and eventually lost his place to Edouard Mendy. Even when Mendy's form dipped, Chelsea looked elsewhere, turning to young keepers like George Petrovic and promoting Gabriel Slonin as future options. So now, in 2025, Chelsea have made the decision to part ways with the Spaniard, cutting their losses at an astonishing £66 million deficit. £5 million for a player who once cost £71 million. It's hard not to view this as one of the biggest financial losses in Premier League transfer history. But there's more to this deal than just numbers. From Chelsea's perspective, it's a clean break. Kepa's wages were among the highest at the club, and moving him on frees up funds for reinvestment. The Blues are focusing on building a younger, hungrier squad, with the likes of Slonin awaiting in the wings. They're shifting their identity under the new ownership, and this deal is part of that evolution. For Kepa, this is a chance for a complete reset. At Arsenal, he won't have the same pressure he had at Chelsea. Instead, he joins a more stable environment under Mikel Arteta. Arteta has built a tight, disciplined squad. If anyone can revive Kepa's confidence and get the best out of him, it might be him. Arsenal currently boast Aaron Ramsdale as their number one, but recent performances have seen mixed reviews. Kepa provides real competition for that spot, and competition breeds excellence. With the Gunners competing on multiple fronts: Premier League, Champions League, domestic cups, they need quality depth in every position. Kepa's Champions League experience could prove invaluable in high-stakes matches. Let's not forget, he's still only 30, young for a goalkeeper, who often hit their prime later in their careers. He also brings international experience with Spain, another boost to Arsenal's backline. Many Arsenal fans are excited by the signing, while others remain cautious given his inconsistent past. But at £5 million, the risk is minimal compared to the potential reward. If Kepa thrives at Arsenal, this could go down as one of the bargain signings of the decade. Looking at similar examples, we've seen players like David Luiz and Petr Cech move from Chelsea to Arsenal with varying success. Both were experienced, slightly past their peak, but offered leadership and depth. Kepa could follow that route, or even surprise everyone and take the number 1 jersey by force. On the flip side, critics argue that Arsenal should have targeted a younger keeper to challenge Ramsdale. But the club sees value in having someone with Kepa's experience and hunger to prove a point. For Chelsea, this transfer is about cutting emotional and financial ties. They've long moved on from Kepa, and this deal clears one more chapter from their turbulent post-2018 period. Fans online have had mixed reactions. Some are relieved to see him go, others are disappointed by how things turned out. Many neutrals, however, are intrigued to see what Kepa can do with a fresh start in North London. His journey serves as a reminder of how unpredictable football careers can be, from the world's most expensive keeper to a £5 million backup. But sometimes, players need to take a step back to move forward. Arsenal might just be the right environment for Kepa to rediscover his form. Whether he becomes first choice or simply adds valuable competition, this transfer has the potential to quietly shift dynamics. It's also a statement by Arsenal that they're not just building for now but for depth, resilience, and long-term consistency. And it's a message from Kepa: he's not done yet. Expect him to fight hard, train harder, and try to silence the critics who wrote him off. Only time will tell how this move pans out, but it's already one of the most talked about transfers of the window. For fans of Chelsea, it's the end of a frustrating but memorable era. For Arsenal fans, it might just be the beginning of a surprise revival. What do you think? Did Chelsea make a mistake selling him so cheaply, or was it time to move on? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Theblu Ed for more breaking transfer news, analysis, and football updates.